Hello and welcome to Phantasy Star Online 2, Episode 4, Story Quest Stream, Part 2, and other numbers and subtitles. Last time, on PSO2, Episode 4, in the near parallel future of Earth, Phantasy Star Online 2 is a global MMO installed by default on everyone's operating systems. Controlled, potentially, by the possibly nefarious Mother Corps, an evil government organization, which also includes evil millionaires. And in the meantime, also slice of life animes, and perverts, and tanks, and T-Rexes, and zombies, and such like that. This time I will eventually start stream. I'm working on it. This time it's Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Welcome to the Christmas. Let's go down a slide. Where's the slide? Oh, it's not there. But yes, hello everyone. I'm dressed for the holidays. I've acquired a very powerful creature. And now we're going to go to the bridge. And yeah, that does describe anime writers. Sexual harassment as comedy is the thing that they think is true. So the bridge is like a story quest hub area of sorts, which I didn't really go to last time, except in cutscenes. There's some people here. We've got Alan Hitsugi. I still kind of feel like I'm dreaming, but everything I'm seeing, this place where I am now, it's real. I've actually come to Oracle, to an Arch ship, in the flesh. It's like, I don't know, I'm not sure how to put it into words. This is way past confusing.
Bye-bye. Hello.
Wow, this place is amazing! It's so big and bright, and there are so many lights! I get the warm and fuzzies just being here. I love this place.
Goodbye.
The warm and the fuzzies. Oh, I also forgot to mention spying on children. That happened a lot last time too. Specifically that children. But, you know, I'm sure we'll spy on some other ones too. So where were we? Ah, we're at a point with a lot of sub-stories. Presumably Hitsugi is going to start meeting the other cast members of the PSO2. Yep, there's Risa. This'll be fun. Let's get right into it, shall we? Don't forget, PSO2
Hey,
is not a
boss.
game.
Who are the newcomers? I'm Hitsugi, and this is Al. I'm Io. No need for formalities. What brings you guys here with the boss? Well, they've helped us out with a bunch of stuff, so... Oh, right. The annoying stuff the boss got caught up in. Wow. Word travels fast. I can't deny any of it, though. Don't worry about it. It's in the boss's nature to deal with annoying stuff like this. Right, boss?
It's not annoying. It's comedy.
Yep, that's who you are. The boss always tries to go it alone, no matter how much we plead otherwise.
That's not terribly true.
Is going it alone a bad thing?
Nah, it's fine. Just hate to see a friend overexert themselves. A little trust wouldn't hurt either. Not overdoing it and getting support when you need it. That's what friends are for. Right, boss? Not that it matters what I say. You won't change your mindset. All we can do is come up with approaches to match your way of doing things. I guess you have to get used to that part.
So, your boss is a little pushy too, huh?
Definitely pushy. When the boss makes a decision, they stick to it. You hear about the way they handled the revival of the Profound Darkness?
3,000 experience is nothing. Yeah, the game simultaneously thinks that you're amazing and also that you kind of suck, which is weird. Oh boy, it's Risa. Oh boy.
Oh me! Oh my! Oh me! Oh my!
Oh me, oh my.
Whoa! Way to scare me half to death! No need to be scared. I, Risa, am an upstanding ARCS operative.
Blatant lies. They use they them pronouns for your character in the story cutscenes in an attempt to be gender neutral, I suppose. But yeah, it's kind of nice that they bother. At the same time, the story events sort of default to treating you that like you are male or lesbian, I suppose. They default to treating you as if you and girls are interested in one another. Let's say it that way.
Whether you're ARCs or not, anyone's gonna jump if you sneak up behind them like that.
Incidentally, perhaps I could just shoot you.
Risa.wave. It is very male gaze. There are times when it's also female gaze, but still.
Now you've gone beyond scary!
What a refreshingly innocent response. Are these your new friends?
My hat is ridiculous. Be nice, please, Risa. Female gaze is, I believe, what TV tropes would call it, at least. They, sometimes they focus on male bodies, is what I'm saying. At least occasionally, I think.
Oh me, oh my. With all due respect, I intend to get along with everyone most harmoniously.
Not sure if female gaze is actually a term that anyone uses except for TV tropes. But because of my exposure to TV tropes, it has saturated my vocabulary whether I want it to or not.
I don't know what they're thinking, however. Now, may I ask who you are, young lady?
I'm Hitsugi. This little guy is Al.
Not your names. Who are you?
It would take a really long time to explain Risa.
Well, whoever they are, if they know you, then it's fine.
No kidding.
Oh, how about this? Let's have a shootout to make our friendship official!
Shootout? Sorry, but that's not really my thing.
Aw, that's too bad. I bet you give off a totally different feeling when you're between my crosshairs than ARCS people do. Oh well. If you change your mind, let me know. I'll shoot you anytime. But blam! Actually, I might shoot you even if you don't let me know.
Have you guessed Risa's 1 to 2 personality traits yet from this cutscene?
Don't take this the wrong way, but some of you ARCS people are completely insane. For some reason, it felt like that last one was looking right through us. Spooky. Right, Al?
I wasn't scared. Actually, she seemed kinda nice.
What? Oh, she did?
Free gun. And now for an unrelated scene with a group of clowns.
That's why when you propose making a new class, you absolutely must acquire permission from advocates of the other classes.
Did
This
you
class
know?
just lures enemies in with cuteness, but it'll jeopardize the bouncer's position. Even if Arx does, I'll never go along with it.
That's unfortunate.
PSO2
Summoner has
has
already been
in-universe
authorized by
bureaucracy
Arx,
for
so
adding
your
new character
permission is
classes to
unneeded.
arcs.
Most importantly, I'll never be parted from my babies. Isn't that right, Katarine?
Also, here is the Frenchman who gets
Jeez,
bitten by his
that
dog as a
hurts,
joke.
Katarine.
That's so cute. It makes me want to throw up. No, don't do that, Katori. What's at issue here is the dishonor to bouncers.
I'm here too.
Oh, you. What? It's not like there's any particular problem here.
Yeah, that's all very true, Isa. TV tropes probably just uses terms that it does because it thinks that it's clever. And that's about it.
Katori's just whining at the Summoner Advocate. Summoner? Oh. It's a rather interesting test class. It never would have occurred to me to use monsters to fight. It's good timing, too. Things wouldn't have gone so well if this came up before Katori was chosen as administrator for the Bouncer Permit exam. Lazy is her MO, so she figures not having to fight for yourself means she could take it easy. She'd be a summoner without a second thought.
Summoners require the most monetary and time investment of all classes.
Now that she is progressively mastering her art, it would be a waste to throw away her aptitude.
Yeah, you're right. The idea of female gaze is not just sexualizing male bodies. But I think that's what TV tropes would say. And like, they do it a few times, I think, but not nearly as often as they do with the female bodies anyways.
But she's jealous that the summoners seem to have it easy, so she's complaining about it.
You've nothing to say, Saga? Hey, Mr. Training Fanatic, the bouncer's honor is at stake here. I mean, look at this. Summoners clearly got 16 different ways to slack off. It's not fair.
Now, don't go spouting biased accusations.
Hey, you! Feel free to give him an earful anytime.
Mon ami, look at what a good mood Katarine is in. How are your babies doing?
Oh, I'm not saying that you're disagreeing. I'm just trying to explain why I said something that was wrong earlier due to misinformation.
Oh, wait, no! It could not be. Has this miscreant poisoned you against the summoners as well? Listen, what is the meaning of you stooping low to become a summoner rather than a bouncer like me?
I'm not a summoner.
Depending on your answer, maybe I'll consider becoming one. What do you say, Saga?
Permission denied. Now, it's time for training.
Hey, wait! I'm not done yet! And I'm free to pick whatever class I want! Any class I want!
You have a duty as representative of the bouncers. Your authority stems from fulfilling it.
How is training part of my bouncer duty?
What a lively one she is. Eh, Katarine? She may have some sharp opinions, but never fear. for I shall never leave you.
You have a good point, Tam. I don't know why I tagged this as good
Yes,
characters.
I know you're happy, so stop headbutting my leg. Ouch! Ouch!
I'm doing my best to make my character a good characters, but the game might have other opinions on that. So maybe I should have gone with neutral characters.
To fight enemies in their local regions.
Hey! Seems like you've been busy since you woke up. How are you? Has the dust settled?
Completely new outfit there you got, Kuna. Wow, you can be rude.
Yeah, well, it's good to have a lot on your plate if you ask me. The work Four Eyes McShifty keeps throwing at me is annoying, though.
Interesting name for Kasra. Very well.
I know her. She's the Arcs idol who's always putting on concerts.
I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Kuna. Pleasure's all mine. And,
Oh, I'm Hitsugi. Nice to meet you too.
Anime. Anime.
I go to your concerts
It's
all the time.
very anime.
I'm
Right now.
fan.
And all the time.
wow, thanks. Moments like these are what makes me glad to be an idol. You come to see my shows sometimes, but never give me so much as a word of feedback. Meanie.
I don't have the option to,
Hey,
Kuna.
sis, what's an idol? What do they do?
An idol's job is to,
An idol's #1 job is to put smiles on everyone's faces.
And also to gather everyone in place so that they're ready to combat Dark Falls in 30 minutes.
I use my voice, body, and heart to let everyone know they're not alone. I believe no one in Arcs should feel lonely. You're all in this together.
You tell everyone they're always together? So they don't get lonely.
That's right. We can't do much solo, but together, we'll find our way forward. Some people try to do everything on their own. And boy, is it a pain to keep up with them. Oh, jeez. I gotta get ready for my next concert. Hope to see you there. Catch you guys later!
she was nice and friendly towards us too. Dang! You're kind of a big shot, huh?
I suppose so. My inventory is going to clog with these rewards. Let's meet Aika some more. We haven't really said anything to her. I mostly know her from the animation, but yeah.
Oh, excellent timing. I was just about to call you.
And that is true.
I'm
Idols
Aika, from the Intelligence
are not
Bureau.
exactly for
We
what
met
the
once
game
before.
says they are for.
Bureau Commander Kasra has instructed me to remain on this ship for the time being.
He's instructed me to be sure that the information the Intelligence Bureau provides is both thorough and consistent.
Aika, you sound like you've gotten about 2 hours of sleep.
But really, I'm mostly here on recon.
You just came out and said it!
The commander still doesn't trust Earthlings. In fact, some of them have even infiltrated Arcs.
True.
Naturally, the Intelligence Bureau is a tad suspicious. Some of the Earthlings working with us might be spies.
I don't think her Japanese voice is this tired. But yeah, that's true. She probably doesn't get any sleep.
So the Bureau's keeping things under wraps while going over everyone else with a fine-tooth comb. How very like them.
Agreed. That's why I'm here. As the Earthlings trust you two most, I'd like to commence surveillance with you two fully understanding the situation.
I'd like to spy on
It's less
Earthlings
formal
even
than
more.
it probably sounds. All I want is your cooperation in fulfilling the Bureau's request. I don't foresee there being any unreasonable demands, but I can't say for sure.
Did you do something, Aika?
I suggested we be trusting and understanding when engaging with a different culture.
Well, that's good.
That's why I'm here. As someone who's already communicated with the people of Earth, I am here as a representative of the Intelligence Bureau. Burdensome it may be, but let's make the best of this partnership.
I like Aika as a character, sort of. But I'm not sure about her voice direction in the game so far. She does sound a lot more robotic than a robot. She sounds kind of like Lou from Phantasy Star Universe, who is a robot, but is also like a hive mind of many Lous. And I think even she sounds less robotic. Aika is... She is kind of robotic, like in personality, but still. Just going from what I know about her. She doesn't display a lot of emotion, typically. But she just sounds tired to me.
What's wrong? Something off about me?
Sorry, we were discussing your voice direction. Your hair color. You give off a different vibe.
Is that so? I'm as regular as ARC's operatives come.
Hmm.
You
Kasra
can quit
is here
your poor
too.
attempt at deception.
Commander.
Like you, Aika has been touched by the power of Dark Falls. Naturally, you're able to tell.
That's true, she has been.
Around 6 months ago, Dark Falls' apprentice was revived.
Watch the anime.
With Matoi's help, we were able to seal away Apprentice again.
The last
But
few episodes stop being a slice of life and become relevant and... like, adventure. Really, I pretty much liked the animation. I haven't watched the adaptation of episodes 1 through 3, but I liked the other anime well enough.
But we slipped up. And this hair is the result.
Also, the anime is
By
where...
slipped up, she means we were extremely
from?
negligent. We got Matoi involved after she had just woken up, and we narrowly escaped a crisis.
Well, sure, but...
Sure, it'd be best if you knew the details. Tell him, Aika.
Ah, they missed a gender pronoun. That's like the first one that they forgot.
I inherited Darkfall's apprentice, F-Factors, from Itsuki and Rina. I mean, my companions. I was fully prepared to be sealed away. But Miss Matoi wished to save me. She manipulated the gathering darkness and attempted to seal it away once more in the depths of Lilliput.
At the time, however, Matoi was not powerful enough to control such tremendous F-factors. Not only that, but she started to let the darkness gathering within Aika seep into her own body.
Matoi, not again. Gosh dang it.
Miss Matoi likely expected that to happen. She'd make a far better vessel than I would, and she was fully prepared for the darkness to take over her body when she tried to save me. And she never looked back, even though she had become the profound darkness once before. That is when it showed itself.
What Arx calls Dio Hunal, the profound darkness incarnate. Its appearance was incredibly brief.
I don't remember that part.
I didn't try to excite or awaken Apprentice. It absorbed the darkness from us and went on its way. It looked at Miss Matoy, but did nothing.
That's what happened. From there, we dealt with the cleanup. That was the worst part.
I like how Crossra's suit has like a tie shape embedded into it. That's convenient.
Miraculously, Aika did not become occupied by the Darkfalls, but she was seriously corrupted. She did well to survive.
It was all thanks to Miss Matoy. After that, it took 6 months of treatment for me to recover. Now I'm in tip-top shape.
Matoy is in a short-term cryosleep to purge the corruption, so I've been following up on her progress. This isn't exactly her first time dealing with corruption, so the medical team is paying particularly close attention. And in time, this too shall pass. I heard from the medical team the other day. I think you will be able to see Matoy soon.
I guess we haven't seen Matoy yet in the episode 4 story. Matoy is pretty important, and for the most part, she's treated as, well, you'll easily be able to read into it if you want. I'll say that much.
What I don't understand is why Dio Hunol did what it did. Why did it take our darkness and leave? I still can't wrap my head around it.
An excellent question. One only that monstrosity can answer. I'm sure you have some idea, though, yes?
I do.
Emergency mission alert. Large-scale deployment operation in progress. All ARCS ops, report to the quest counter to join the mission.
That's just Christmas. Don't pay attention to it.
Hey, fancy seeing... oh, shoot!
Who are these individuals?
What's wrong?
Look over there! That group of 4 there!
Friends or enemies?
Sort of. Those are members of the student council, or in other words, members of Mother Corps.
Okay, so we should destroy them.
They're here using avatars to investigate this world just like I used to. Yikes!
I don't think any of these people are important.
Are they gone? Oh, thank goodness. That was close.
Shouldn't you say hi to your friends when you see them, Hitsugi?
Now that I've left Mother Corps, I can't exactly strike up a conversation about the weather with them anymore.
Why not?
Because they think I'm a traitor and would probably jump me? Come to think of it, I wonder if word is going around school by now. I know this is my fault and all, but I hope I don't have to drop out or anything.
Please explain to me how it's your fault that the government is corrupt. Hitsugi. Okay, Claire's craze is here now. Everybody get ready for the magical gremlin.
Hey, Bonehead. If you're hanging around the ship, I guess things have settled down for you? I haven't gotten any orders either, so I'm on something of a long overdue vacation. Heck of a coincidence, huh?
Nice hair.
Speaking of which, have you seen Miss Predecessor? She woke up before you did. Looked pretty busy with this and that.
Okay, that's a fair point. Lots of people blame themselves for things that the government did to them. That's very true.
Well, somebody here's something
think I'm self-important, bonehead?
Wait, can you read minds, or is this just gonna be a joke about seeming like you can read minds?
Huh? Oh, no, I can sense it in the photons. It's okay. Keep on thinking what you like, because, hey, I am important.
Photons are like nanomachines. They do everything.
The heck? Who is this girl?
Claris Crace, one of the...
third generation Claris Crace, Lieutenant of the Combat Bureau. Nice to meet you, Shrimp.
I forgot you were a lieutenant of the Combat Bureau.
Besides, you're shorter than me anyway.
She was one of the Council of Six. I guess they're not the Council of Six anymore? Or are they? I've forgotten.
Help it. That's how I was designed. In fact, I was probably this tall when I was born.
She's a clone, also.
If Sarah were bigger, I would be too. Yep, get down to brass tacks, and it's all her fault.
That's not how that works.
Wait, you were designed? What does that even mean? It means I was created. Basically, I'm a clone. Does that help?
Hey, at least she's, like, okay with it now. Claris Crace has been doing good with her therapy in the time I was in cryo sleep, apparently. Good job, Claris Crace.
Clone? What kind of half-baked sci-fi nonsense is this?
Kitsugi. Are you aware of where you are right now? Are you aware? Are you aware that PSO2 isn't a game? Okay.
Listen, if you're trying to sympathize with my situation, don't worry about it.
I thought you were a gamer, yeah.
I've accepted it, and so has everyone else. So, it's not worth talking about. I am who I am, and I'm just doing the best I can here. That's all there is to it. I do appreciate you thinking of me, though. Thanks.
I don't like either of these responses. Maybe I should remove the good characters tag.
Nah, I just don't pretend to be tougher than I really am. By the way, I didn't catch your boneheaded names, shrimping kid.
Oh, I'm Hitsugi, and this is Al.
Gotcha. Hitsugi and Al, huh? Good to meet you.
I'm gonna keep calling the player character Bonehead, but you get actual names.
Ah, crap! I'm gonna be late for my meeting with Sarah. Later.
Wait, who has a Pokemon in their hair? What? Oh boy, history lesson. Hey, Sierra.
Hey, you're just in time. Would you like to review ARC's history with us?
Are you going to review the history of spying on these people that are standing right next to us? Is that gonna be, like, important?
Hitsugi and Al seemed curious, so I was showing them a few documents.
Oh yeah, her hair clips did kind of look like Pokeballs, that's true.
Huh. We were basically digging through records on the sly up to this point. But now that everything's laid out in front of me, it's like, what was all that hard work for?
There was a time when ARC's concealed its history, but we've been completely open since our restructure. There's nothing here worth hiding, really.
Hey, Sierra, about this Shion person.
She was really important.
Wow, Al! Found your way to that record? Quite the info connoisseur, aren't you?
Who was Shion?
This may be a little hard to imagine, but Shion was an observer of our universe. She kept logs of its history, like a librarian.
Shion is a sentient ocean. That's not made up at all. That is literally 100% exactly part of the lore. Wait. Okay, yeah, never mind.
She was a pacifist, someone with full knowledge of the universe's history.
So, Pansophists know everything?
Pacifists, Al. She knew all, but that was the extent of her powers. She was inept at interpreting the emotions of others, and decided to reach out to the people who were alive at the time. Photoners.
Photoners. The people who controlled this universe way back when?
The very same. Shion taught them how to manipulate photons, and that in turn drove the Photoners' development. But they went a little too far, and ended up creating the profound darkness, which gave birth to Fallspawn.
Shion is also a they-them character, though sometimes they use she and her. So she's like a non-binary they-she entity, I think, which is neat.
Before creating the profound darkness, the Photoners did other stuff, right? Like make Shion do things for them?
There's also like 50 billion Shion clones who all have their own identities. I'm only supposed to know about one of them.
Yeah, you sure know your stuff. The profound darkness was the end result of all that fiddling around.
I guess we haven't seen Xiao in this episode yet either.
The Photoners tried and failed many times to create a copy of Shion.
Oh wait,
Their final greatest failure gave birth to the profound darkness.
I was supposed to know that there are many of them. I'm just not supposed to know details.
So Shion was amazing, and the Photoners were bad. But none of them are around anymore?
That's the rough gist of it, if we set aside everything they did to develop their society. Rough, but not incorrect. Also, I'm the daughter of Xiao, who's the son of the great
Wait.
Shion. In other words, you could say I'm Shion's granddaughter.
You're the daughter of Xiao? I guess Xiao created you. So that's one way of looking at it.
You're the granddaughter of such a great person? Then, does that make you a great person too, Sierra?
No, Sierra spied on you.
No question about it. I'm downright amazing. Go on, let the compliments flow.
Any of that concern you?
Oh, nah. I mean, actually, yeah. One of the things Mother wanted us to find out was the location of the Photoners. But why?
I wonder if she was looking into the origin of ARCS rather than its history. Or is she after something else, perhaps?
At this point, it's impossible to say.
At this point, it's impossible to say, but eventually we'll get there. Oh, I'm sorry I keep missing your jokes, Gretch. I'm absorbed by the anime that's happening. Eventually there will be gameplay. Don't you worry. That is an unimportant character with a funny walk. I guess we're just skipping through all of the introductions of all the other side characters at this point.
I've met so many people. And they all looked so happy when they talked to you. I don't know what to say, really. But it's clear, you're seriously amazing.
Oh, shucks. I'm not that amazing.
Yes, you are. Well, at the very least, you are to me. See? Getting that reception wherever you go sure must be nice. I pretty much did what I wanted at school. My teachers liked me, but I never really fit in with my peers.
Oh, relatable.
I always acted like Corey was the only person who mattered, which kept the other students at bay even more.
Less relatable.
So, I'm a little jealous of how everyone treats you. Man, listen to me. I'm in another world and I'm getting cold feet? That's not like me at all.
You're great too, sis.
Yeah?
I do have the hugging Imperapi, yeah.
You saved me. That makes you just as great in my book.
Thanks, Al.
Our data is perfectly in order.
I've finally finished sorting through all that intel dump. Now then, let's dive right in, shall we? We're going to gloss over the more intricate details for now, but I've compiled most of the more important stuff together. Now that I've got everything sorted out, go ahead, ask away. I'll answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Time to learn. Who's ready for learning? We've been going for 48 minutes. Well, 42 minutes.
Accessing the Ark ship from Earth was a small-scale operation, but amazingly enough, it happened 12 years ago. Then, as of 2 years ago, it shifted to an investigation where people like Hitsugi started being sent here.
12 years ago. 2016. That's when ether communication technology was established and ESCA made its global debut.
True facts about Earth.
And 2 years ago? I can't think of anything major that happened on Earth 2 years ago.
I believe the cause is not on Earth, but here. Both 12 years ago and 2 years ago, there were major incidents here. Do you know what the common factor was between these 2 points in time?
Do I? Yeah, it was Matoy, actually.
That's certainly true as well.
Oh, wait.
But my analysis indicates that the return of the profound darkness acted as the trigger.
I failed the quiz.
I believe that Earth knew when the profound darkness would return, and used that information to change their approach. It isn't yet clear how they're related, but based on the information we currently have, that appears to be the case.
But it's still just a theory, huh? I'm sorry. I wish there was more I could tell you.
Oh no, even just a theory is fine. I'm starting to connect the dots one by one and see where they lead.
Each of these tickets is worth less than a single enemy. Hey look, it's the default male character. Hooray! I'm going to be right back extremely quickly. I am back. Most enemies are worth 1,000? I thought on like higher difficulties they were worth more. Maybe I'm just forgetting. Anyways, let's learn about the difference between ether and photons.
Though there are differences in the way we use them and their composition, ether and photons refer to essentially the same thing.
Not different at all!
That is why we were able to detect HITSUGI, or the sudden appearance of the enemy forces on the ARC ship. Ether cannot produce as much energy as photons, perhaps due to dimensional discrepancies. However, it excels at constructing information. In essence, they are particles adept at creating shapes or relaying communications. That said, as particles go, they are fundamentally identical. If the same principles apply, that opens up all sorts of possibilities. Sort of like a puzzle coming together.
What is that face that I'm making?
That also means they could monitor us in the same way. The other side must be able to use ether the way we use photons. So we need to come up with a countermeasure as soon as we can.
I only played a little bit of Elder Scrolls Online a very long time ago before any of the expansions happened. I thought it was alright, but I didn't get into it. Oh yeah, Avatar arms. Hitsugi has a sword, by the way. In case you forgot.
You're talking about the Earthling's unique ability to materialize equipment, aren't you? I have an idea where that comes from. In ARC's operative terms, it's like a summoner's abilities, but for Earthlings.
I wish I could materialize equipment.
Hitsugi, would you mind materializing that sword for me?
It's funny you said not a sword, a katana, at the exact same moment that Sierra said, would you mind materializing that sword?
Oh, sure. Ame no Habakiri.
Boop.
How's that?
Great! Thank you! As you can see, the photons in the atmosphere responded to Hitsugi's command and came together to form this weapon. While some ARC's ops are able to materialize photons like this, the Earthling's method is a little different.
Yeah, katanas are different from swords in notable ways.
Theirs is
That
more
is true.
fantastical. Essentially, whatever they visualize takes shape in midair. Only Earthlings used to ether can do it.
So does that mean that...
Since their visualization is directly linked to the materialization, the ability itself is almost certainly more potent.
So does that mean that Hitsugi specifically visualized this very specific katana?
The only bottleneck is that it lacks general utility, and there are very few people who can make use of it. Come to think of it, what did you call that weapon you materialized, Hitsugi? A Mano Hakiri? No, that doesn't sound right.
Close. It's Ame no Habakiri.
Does it mean anything?
Oh,
Oh, I know! It's a weapon that shows up in one of Japan's Izumo myths. The sword used to chop up the 8-headed serpent Yamada no Orochi.
whoa! How did you know that, Al?
Al actually has a skill set, and it's knowing about mythology. Okay, interesting.
I read that story in your room. There were lots of other books of myths in there too. All sorts of myths.
Do you like mythology?
I do like mythology, but I'd say I also like heroic tales.
Okay. Neat character trait. I appreciate that you have gained an additional character trait.
book about a hero and imagining it for myself, there's nothing else like it. You think that sounds childish, don't you? Go
No?
ahead. I guess I'm just as childish as I look then.
Don't make assumptions, video game. I'm perfectly fine with that. I got a shitty katana. When an NPC levels up, they gain a new character trait. That sounds about right.
In regards to the Mother Corps, I'm afraid not even the Intelligence Bureau has many details about them. We're basically leaning entirely on Hitsugi's information.
I wish I could help, but I'm afraid I only know a little bit.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is another show that I've never actually seen. I should consider watching it at some point.
I've never even heard of the leaders or these disciples or anything. I only joined the Corps because I got an invite from Mother out of the blue to join their members-only social network.
Makes it sound like you got a spam email, Hitsugi.
At first, I didn't fully trust them, but everything Mother said was spot on. And once I was able to enter PSO2 for myself, I found myself trusting her implicitly. I remember at one point, I thought she knew everything there was to know. The only other members I knew were the student council members from my school. And Corey. In the end, that's the extent of my grasp on Mother Corps. I can't speak to anything else. I thought I knew more than I did. I hadn't changed at all, yet I'd convinced myself I had. I hadn't gained anything, despite how desperately I believed otherwise.
True. Once you realize how little you actually know, you start to put in the effort to learn. That kind of attitude is much more important.
Hitsugi, is not knowing things really so bad?
Depends.
If it is, I'm the worst one here. I don't know anything about myself or anything that goes on around me.
No.
It's okay, Hitsugi. We've all been there. It's not too late to learn. We can find out together.
Yeah.
Yeah, this MMO, the story is entirely optional, but there is a lot of it. It used to be structured differently for the first part of it, which this is past, where you would sort of encounter events in the field and stuff. But they just streamlined it, and then after they did that, episodes that followed that part just sort of followed the same format of there are a lot of cutscenes to watch. But I figured it would be fun to stream and it'd be worth sharing anyways. So that we can react together. And yeah, they didn't really do anything to counter Owl's concern there.
Come to think of it, I never did tell you why our Ark ship moved near Earth, did I? Originally, I had applied to be stationed here once we'd bonded with Hitsugi and begun making progress on our investigation. Plus, there was a lot we couldn't tell just by analyzing the information we had brought back. And then, just when we'd learned of the danger the phantasms posed from that information, we were about to investigate further. Then, Error Code Olympia, was it? The one that prompted Hitsugi and Owl's forced return? I've confirmed that in that one moment, not only was I prevented from gathering more info, They also tried to delete the info I already had. It was on a completely different level than the fake avatar investigation. It was an act of aggression perpetrated by Earth against Oracle. As a result, we learned that there is an entity on Earth that is hostile towards Arcs, and so we brought the entire Arc ship here. This way, we can still go to Earth even if they try jamming our systems again.
There's more balance in episode 5 and 6 between gameplay and story. That's good to know. I'll probably be streaming those too. If I can stream like more than once every 5 years.
And since the Arc ship's own camouflage is flawless, they'll never find us.
That's the sort of line that gets you immediately shot.
So we'll be staying at this world for the time being as we continue our investigation. Thanks again for helping me out.
When we do get into combat eventually, I'm a different character class than I was in the previous stream. So that'll be interesting.
This is about those monsters that appear on Earth. The phantasms.
What about photons and ether? They're about the same. Ether's better at communication stuff. My character class has gone from hero to phantom. I am specialized in rifles specifically for phantom this time. Which is to say that I don't have other equipment. And it wouldn't be that much of an issue to like also use other equipment if I had it. But you know, rifle.
They use ether in the atmosphere to assume monstrous forms and attack others.
I keep staring at my hat. It's a little too ridiculous, I think.
What's more, they apparently often materialize as things all Earthlings subconsciously fear or inherently dislike.
Phantom Rifle is very fun. Hopefully we will be able to see some gameplay today.
I guess a bad reputation is hard to shake off, no matter which world you go to.
So wait a minute, hold on. Phantoms materializes things that Earthlings inherently fear or dislike is a thing that we have just been told. Phantom enemies in the game include zombies, rats, crows, tanks, helicopters, T-Rexes, a Hydra made out of trains. Am I missing any of the Tokyo ones? Road rollers, mice, they're rare rats. Battleship Yamato. Moving on into the Las Vegas ones. Casino signs that are rabbits that have guns. Clowns. Circus stuff. Bulldogs. Statue of Liberty riding a Sphinx. The Devil's Trailer, which is just a truck. Aliens. Oh, I missed bears. I forgot the bears in Tokyo. Yeah, the 18-wheelers. It's the devil truck. I mean, fears and phobias are pretty diverse. You could be afraid of any of those things. But actually, there's some things that are like left out of that are pretty interesting that they're missing. Like, there aren't any phantoms that look like, or there aren't any phantasms that resemble bugs or insects in any way. Which is what I fear. That's my phobia. Anyways.
And since they're nothing more than ether, They can't even be seen by or affect people without the aptitude for handling it. Nonetheless, if left unchecked, the purity of the ether they're composed of will eventually reach a point where they can affect reality.
I forgot bikers. There's also bikers.
On a different note, I've even heard rumors of phantasms along those lines, who have been known as angels and demons since ancient times.
I haven't seen any of those.
Interesting though that may be, we really ought to stick to gathering more practical intel. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to complain. At any rate, these phantasm readings have been rising in number recently, and ARX has been secretly handling them behind the scenes. They're using the info provided by the Intelligence Bureau's collaborator to quickly subjugate them before they become problematic. Incidentally, anti-phantasm combat makes use of special enclosed fields that civilians cannot enter, so you can go nuts when you fight them.
Hooray! I guess. Haha, if I fear bugs, stay away from Cyberpunk.
Thank you for your support.
Christmas is over! Hooray! I would do the Christmas event if I weren't streaming, because I do want the weapon badges from it, but you know, it's fine.
Now that we've had a chance to take a look at all this data, our next course of action is... it's their move.
Are you sure we have the luxury of waiting?
The only thing we know for sure is that they're after Al, so our best bet is to get a feel for things while keeping him safe. Our enemies this time around are humans, not Falspawn, so it's best to exercise discretion with our actions. All we can do is wait. HITSUGI, you and Al should probably take care of or look into anything that's still bothering you while you still have the chance.
That's the sort of thing that they tell you in a video game before you're about to hit a point of no return, except they're telling it to other NPCs this time.
Once things get rolling, I'm not sure you'll have the chance to get around to it again.
Oh, the Armada urgent is coming up? Cool. I haven't done that one, well obviously I haven't done that one since the Japanese servers, because it hasn't been on the North American server until right now.
I guess I'd better put some thought into it.
3 hours, alright. I'll probably be done streaming by then, because there are some other things I want to do.
Shouldn't you get in touch with him while you have a moment to spare?
Huh? I mean, yeah, I do, but how do you know that?
Sierra, you were spying.
Well, I thought you looked like the sort of girl who'd have a brother is all. I guess I was right.
Okay. You're right, though. I should talk with him first, if I can even find a way.
Well, why don't you speak to him directly? That'd be best, right?
Why don't we
Wait,
just...
But I thought you just said that we need to sit tight.
Why don't we just beam your brother onto the ship?
That's just standard ARC's procedure. The two of you are guests, though, and I see no reason to order either of you around. Now then, don't worry about us. Go on and talk with your brother. We'll be right here to back you up.
Thank you both. Maybe I will then. Keep an eye out for me, yeah?
This hat looks better outside of cutscenes. Dishonesty! I've been doing that. Oh, Sarah's got a new costume. What's Sarah up to?
Hey, Sierra, I'm coming in. Oh, figured you'd be here.
Sarah, You hardly ever come here. What is it?
I heard our friend was back, so I figured I'd drop by and say hi before meeting up with Claris Craze.
Weren't you supposed to meet up with Claris Craze about 10 cutscenes
in a
ago?
few things. But you look better than I thought you would.
Sarah was pretty important in previous episodes as well.
Didn't Xiao tell you anything?
Why haven't we seen Xiao yet? Is Xiao even in episode 4?
He just told me they were back. He didn't go into detail.
We're back to they, them. That's fine by me.
He's been leaving out more and more info when he contacts me. Wonder if I should cut ties completely. That's what I'd like to know. He's been cooped up in the heart of the mothership doing calculations for what feels like forever. I'm sure he's fine, though.
Oh, he's calibrating.
He's pretty much left the ship to you and Sierra, huh?
Speaking of which, got a minute to go over these documents before I submit them to General Affairs?
Sure, no problem. I've got time, so... Oh, one sec. Xiao's calling me.
Wow, good timing.
Geez, Xiao. You always call me out of the blue. So, what's up? Nothing? You just wanted to hear my voice? What's wrong with you? Ugh, finish up those calculations and get out of there. I'm just doing my thing. Yep. Yep. No worries, I took care of it. Got it. We're not fighting anymore, you know.
Feels like an anime from 1997. It's definitely an anime.
Okay. Okay. Yep, I know. You don't have to check up on every little detail. Everything okay on your end? Listen, I'm not worried about you. But I'm heading over there again, so you better come out this time. Okay? Alright then. Bye. He just calls whenever he feels like it. Sorry, Sierra. Now, as we were saying... What?
Oh boy, that was... how should I say? Simply adorable.
Enough! Get on with it, Sierra! I bet there's a problem with the documents Maria submitted, so bust them out!
As you wish.
And don't you loaf around when there's ARC's business to be done. Go on!
There is no ARC's business to be done. I've been explicitly ordered to wait. Hooray, shitty wired lance. Oh, there's a battle coming up. Oh boy, look at this man. Look at this man. I don't know anything about him other than he has funny hair. And his name is apparently Bethor Zelazny. And he's directing something, and I think he dies, but you know. We get more Haggoth too. This is what I've been waiting for. Has this emerald tablet been feasting? Yes. He made a battleship. We finally got to the hammy villains. I am so happy.
I had a feeling you'd call me soon.
HITSUGI-BABY. You've gone too far in materializing such a large-scale phantasm. You're going to blow our cover.
Can you speak up, mysterious voice?
Don't waste your breath on me. Go tell it to my emerald tablet. It's out of my hands now. It has become the perfect weapon, you see. It no longer requires my control in order to excel. I'm simply here to observe the conflict born of my greatest masterpiece. As its creator, I must revel in its glory.
He says the same thing every time he makes a controversial forum post.
Now go, my emerald tablet. Make your glory known to all who look upon you. Be the herald of my infinite power.
It gives you a quest reward, or gives you a quest trigger to fight the battleship, I think. Alright, time for whatever this man is going to be like. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I am excited. But first, a bedroom.
Doesn't look like anyone's ransacked my place. Maybe no one at school knows yet?
That's a good point. I think all the targets
That's
are
not what I'm
land-based.
here for,
What
though.
is he doing?
I gotta go find my brother.
He just likes a battleship.
All right, who's running in the hall? Oh, Hitsugi?
Great.
Watch
Well, that
that
was-
tone, Missy. I heard you'd be away for a while taking care of student council business.
That's true, he
What
also has
brings you
space
back?
targets, I guess.
What? Who told you all of that?
Hori did. Isn't she with you?
She did?
What awful timing, though. Your brother just showed up looking for you, you know. But I told him you were away.
My brother was here?
We're never
was,
going to see the
just
dorm
moments
leader's
ago.
face, huh?
He asked where you were, so I told him what I just told you.
Okay, don't worry about it. I need to talk to him anyway, so I'll go find him myself. Know where he went?
He said he was heading back to the boys' dorm. You're free to go now, Hitsugi. But no more running in the halls. You hear?
Laugh track.
Yeah. Thank goodness he's okay.
For now. Yep.
What? That came from the boys' dorm! Oh no!
No running in the halls, Hitsugi. Gosh. I feel like Dalton from Chrono Trigger would probably have a voice like Haggett's. Now that you mention that.
This can't be! That's his room!
That's very specific.
Now that was cool. Alright, talk about going out with a bang! I bet that made for a spectacular shot.
Excuse me?
Anyone who does wrong by mother, guess what's a coming? Ain't that right, Hitsugi, baby?
You did this?
Do you even have to ask? You, me, everyone can see the answer plain as day.
What?
My brother! Did you?
Hmm? Is this auto-interpreter of mine broken? Or are you just a broken record?
You've walked in on Hammy Villain 2.
This should certainly get us the sensational scene I need next. Ready the cameras! That's absolutely right, Hitsugi, baby. I'm Beitor Zelanzi.
Beitor
Brothers
Zelanzi?
room extraordinaire. Your brother is out of here! Wiped clean off the face of the earth with a nice old kablooey! A real work of art.
No habakiri!
Well, rip that guy. Definitely not.
Yes, that's it. That is the sort of raw, unbridled anger and remorse you can never really catch on film.
Is it just me or is this guy a No More Heroes
Still
boss?
Hitsugi, baby. With a temper like that, you might slip up. I'd watch your step if I were you.
Bob?
We just need like a...
No! Cut! Hitsugi,
We need like a robot voice introducing him.
people are gonna think this whole scene is dull now. You kiddos are supposed
The
to
robot
be the
whisper.
stars that really make my movie shine. So, I'm gonna need you to pump up the excitement level here, alright?
Beitor Zelazny. Now I
Beitor
remember.
Zelazny.
You're that famous Hollywood director who made a name for himself with all his special effects.
Yes, I have rocked the US of A with my historic success of the great Beitor Zelanzi, disciple of Jupiter.
I have this man's hair, by the way. I can wear this hair.
The 411 from
Change the
Mother said that
world.
Japan offered some fantastic shots. So, I flew express straight here.
I really wish.
So come on, Hitsugi baby.
Like,
Give me
okay.
some moves that inspire. Bring your character to life for me, girl.
So, oh, rat.
Cut the crap already! What film? What character? Did you really kill my brother just to get a shot?
I forgot what I was going to say already, because I got distracted by this man. Oh, I was going to say, like, this game obviously doesn't use, like, motion capturing, but I kind of wish that it did, and that it had the same direction as the way they animate it, because I want to imagine somebody doing all of the things that this man is doing
Okay.
in a studio.
That's the spirit, baby. But you gotta keep your eyes open, Miss Thing.
I'm here too.
What did you?
I'm allowed to have a weapon in cutscenes now.
Okay, come on in. This should give me an even better shot.
I like how he didn't change out of his pajama pants.
Ready? Action!
Am I just going to fight rats? Anyway. Check out how I have a gun that is also a reindeer. And I kill everything in one hit. Hooray!
That was cool! Fantastic! Nothing beats a real life shot. You can't make this stuff up. Hitsugi, baby, you were wonderful! This is just the sort of shot I've been dreaming of. If only I'd scouted a better location and better extras for you all. Let's shoot the final cut when I do.
Okay. Yeah, I got the rats joke. The Fighters Guild. That's one I got. I just had to divide my attention between the chat and this silly man. Is he Seinfeld now? I don't know much about Seinfeld, actually.
Sorry. I guess I got a little ahead of myself again. Thanks for saving me. I'm fine. But my brother, he's...
Yeah, Michael Bay was the name I was trying to find in my head a little while ago. Hitsugi, your brother's probably not dead. Obtained 30 AP? I don't even know what that is. Unless it's something really obvious that I'm not remembering. Aika has new client orders. Okay. Well, more of this man soon. Oh, alliance points, right. Thank you. Why am I getting alliance points for this? Oh boy, Pietro's here too. Great. Yeah, until the body's on screen, they're not dead. That's correct.
What? Oh me, oh my! Hitsugi, yes? Why are you moping around by yourself?
Hello, crazy gun robot.
Risa, was it?
Yepers, that's me. What's up? Here for a plus-size order of my bullet between the eyes special?
Risa.
There's just a lot going on.
Like you preparing yourself to be shot?
Risa!
Not quite.
Not quite?
Have a second character
Come
trait,
between my crosshairs
please.
for a different reason, huh? So your brother passed. I see, I see. You have my sympathies.
Risa has about 2 sympathies to spare.
I always wonder, though, how can you sympathize with someone else's mind?
Yep.
I have absolutely positively no idea about the subtleties of the heart, so I like to be frank when I talk. So, how did your brother pass away? Did he get blown to smithereens by a bomb? Was it horrific? Tell me all about it. Or was he flattened like a pancake?
Risa.
Don't know. You don't know? That's interesting. So you're saying he's gone. That's because you confirmed he died and identified his body, right?
Oh, Risa is...
I don't need to know the details, but lately I've become interested in bomb-based destruction, and I'm looking to learn.
Yeah, Risa... She sounds aroused and I don't like it basically summarizes her character in some ways. I agree with that.
Thanks, Risa. I don't know why you're thanking me, but you're welcome, I guess. I can't exactly go and look at the moment, so maybe there's a chance after all.
There is a character song like music CD thing in Japan where Risa has her own song.
Next
And
time,
it's
I'll make sure to check.
called something like Crazy Shooting Bullet Party or some shit like that.
If you can't bear to look, ask me, okay?
It's about what you would expect.
Anyway, if you ever feel like getting shot, just say the word. I want to shoot Al too if I can. I would be so very happy if you could arrange that.
Sis,
Al. And you too.
sis, are you okay?
I'm fine, I'm fine. One slightly worrisome conversation later, I feel just a little bit better now.
Stop clogging my inventory. It's already like 2/3 full. Gosh. Whoops, wrong button. Now I could skip the side stories, but I'm not going to.
Speak of the devil. We just heard about what happened with you guys. If my development had been better, I might have been able to handle myself with a little more dignity. If only.
What are you talking about?
Like I told you, if you were only bigger, I would have been bigger, and our powers would have complemented each other more.
Oh, they have matching outfits now, but the shoulder arm thing is on a different arm because they're clone sister people.
Anyway, something wrong, Hitsugi?
Oh wait, no, it's on the same arm. Never mind.
You don't look so good. Everything okay?
She's probably nervous because you teased her so much before.
Sarah.
Actually, her big brother died.
Whoa, that's serious.
Jeez, do I completely lack the ability to read a situation or what?
It's okay. Pretty much all my siblings died too.
Clarice, no!
I lost them. Same difference.
That's
not the same.
And that's a horrible way to respond.
What am I supposed to say? I know. Bonehead, show us how you would console someone.
Anime.
Good idea. You're so experienced. I bet you know just what to do.
It's okay. You don't need to comfort me. Sorry to worry you.
It's funny that my character is a giant because I made them my real height, which is like 5'7".
If I
I keep moping, it'll just make everyone worry. I gotta change my expression so I'm not broadcasting it to everyone. Thanks, guys. I'm okay. Really. So, no need to worry.
If I was playing as the character that I had in the Japanese version, I would be like, probably about 8 foot. I think it was.
I'm sure you realize this, but
maybe not 8
Hitsugi
foot.
is pushing herself pretty hard.
You of all
7
people know
something?
how dangerous that can be. Stick with her, okay?
It was 7 foot something. Yeah, Hitsugi, didn't take away a good thing from that. For sure. 5'7" is the same height as Charizard? Huh. Okay. Interesting facts. Let's check in with
I
Aika.
finished checking over the data, and as of right now, there are no major disparities with our hypothesis.
I still really need a nap.
Sure, that's correct. But no matter whether it's photons or ethers, you are still strongly influenced by your emotions.
What?
Should you continue to mingle, be abundantly cautious, and be sure to obtain accurate data.
Aika has just been accused of being strongly influenced by her emotions that she does not display very well. I mean, you can have emotions without being able to express them. I shouldn't, like, imply that you can't. The subtitles are here now because she's talking to an invisible person.
Understood, Lieutenant.
Which we'll probably see in a second. It's rare to see you two together. Huh.
What? You can see the Lieutenant?
No, I can hear.
Just... who are you?
There's nothing wrong, Aika. They know all about us.
Yeah, see. This is the idol
Really?
singer from earlier.
But is it even possible that they could see you, Lieutenant?
She's also an assassin.
Now this does take me back. I think I reacted the same way when you and I first met.
Lieutenant, I would like to be made privy to such data ahead of time.
Well, you weren't, because even I have my secrets. How about you, Aika? Regarding your activities when you infiltrated Earth, perhaps?
If you're talking about Itsuki and Rina, that isn't even a secret, really.
They made a whole anime about it. You can watch it.
I've also obtained some footage of you dressed in a waitress outfit during said activities.
That was part of one of the episodes.
From where? It just found its way to me. From Kasra.
Kasra.
Sorry, I've got something really urgent. Gotta go.
For context, since it was a slice of life anime featuring a high school, that was the inevitable Culture Festival episode with the inevitable maid cafe. I'm pretty sure. If you're wondering why outfits have holes in them, that's just because PSO2. That's just Phantasy Star costume design, really.
Aika's so devoted to the Earth that I'm worried she's pushing herself too far. This ought to be a nice little breather. It'd be doubly nice if that glasses-wearing devil were denounced too.
Kasra kinda sucks. You know, I want to try something. Let us go first to my personal quarters, which are now different from if I showed them before. Nothing weird happening in here. Everything's fine. There's Radna. Hello, Radna. Eventually this doll does something, but I don't know how to trigger it, or how long it takes. Anyways. First of all, my inventory is not too full yet. Storage, retrieve item. Oh wait. I believe I have saved this outfit, yes? So there are suits in this game where you can do things like this and become a creature. I've applied accessories to this one. Oh, they make squeaky noise when they walk. So, since I'm having enough trouble taking episode 4 seriously already, I want to try going into a cutscene like this. Always remember happy day. At least one cutscene in the form of this creature. This strange wrapping. This game is Phantasy Star Online 2, which you probably know, and is probably not what you're actually literally asking. It's a fun game. It's a lot of things. Most of them strange. So let's see how this goes down. Oh, I've cleared missions. Oh, what? I already knew this Kofi. I think that's an error. I should use those experience tickets that I have. That rug is a symbol art mat, which I have a trans rights symbol art, and I had the mat display it. So it is not official, but it is officially endorsed, I suppose. Oh, Aika's right here? Interesting. What are your client orders? Huh. Weird. I'll do those later. It's time for Pietro's 2 character traits.
Mon ami, please forgive my urgency.
Immediately worth it.
While I am here, though, have you seen Josephine?
Actually, I should show off how stupid you can do things after this one. Can't say I have, says this creature.
I see. Where in the blazes have you gone, Josephine?
Can I still keep this? You mean like, can I keep using this costume?
I took my eyes off her for a moment to attend to some other business, and she took off.
I feel like the camera is supposed to be up higher, but since I'm tiny...
I don't imagine she'd have left the Ark ship, but still... Oh, my beloved, wherever have you gone?
Yeah, I'll
In
keep
that
this
case,
costume for a bit at
all I can
least.
do is try to keep up. No, this must be a test of my love. You are testing me, aren't you? I will find you. Au revoir, mon ami.
Goodbye, Pietro. The framing is, I think, because of the shortness of the suit. Before I continue, I want to show off a little bit about suits like this. First of all, I think... Let me check my personal shop. I do have a second one that has not sold that could be even greater. Let us go to the salon. First step, I'm going to remove these accessories. Secondly, we have this, the Easter wrapping, the egg. I guess I could also show off other outfits and things that I possess. I can be a Half-Life. I can make really bad decisions about things that I'm wearing. This is one you get for using Steam specifically. I have many outfits. This is also a decent way to show how the game fails to handle character width. As you can see, there's a strange shape going on in my front. I have Shrine Maiden. I have various things. Some outfits are very bad, such as this. I hate this. That is all we will say about it. What else do I have? Capes, things, armor, more cape. And yeah, that's true. Shirts can do that. I can have giant robot arms if I wish. But right, let's get back to the point I was... Where... It's easy to get lost in this menu, by the way. What if egg? So there's a property with the mini costumes where any accessory you place is gigantic, so as to accommodate them. So there's a lot of really stupid things I can probably do with the accessories that I have, such as this. Or this. Or this. And these can be scaled further. So I can say go into accessory 1 size. And this could be my character. I could go into a cutscene with this on. And I could make it worse. Let's observe. I could say angle. That's not the right angle. It's not the one I was looking for. Is it this one? Yes, indeed. I could say put it to the side. And then... And then accessory to, wait, position, yes. I could make a terrifying beast by also doing this on the other side, and then go into a cutscene with this. The possibilities are infinite, and they should not be. Let's not do that. That's terrible. Let's see what other options I have, though. Just for fun. This is an option. Heh. Heh. Okay. There are many choices to be made. The side mouth, yep. I could have the moon. Amy's is tiny because I don't have the regular sized Amy one. There's also a small Sonic one. Some of the accessories don't quite work. You can do stuff like, there's really strange robot pieces that there are a lot of, actually. Like, I could just build a strange thing like this with relatively little difficulty. This is possible. Of course, you can also do fairly regular things with these, like give them a hat. But, sometimes this game has physics. It's not a Tails doll antenna. I forgot Tails doll had an antenna. It's like a fishing rod with a rare drop box as bait. There's also this. And this. And this is Mr. Umbra. He exists. There's a lot of things going on here. But let's just stick with this for now. I'm going. Also, this music in the lobby for Christmas sounds really Maple Story to me. Anyway. I may regret this, but let's continue as this for a little bit. Oh, I can't steal your chair. Greetings, normal creature.
Hey, boss. Good timing. Not sure myself. This thing just came flying out of nowhere at me. Must be the one of the summoner class's pets, yeah? Supposedly they're obedient and serve their masters devotedly.
Must be the one of the summoner class's pets. That's a really awkward sentence that they actually voice acted exactly as it was written. Interesting.
Thought maybe it might be your pet or something, boss.
No, I don't play as summoner.
Hey you! Would your owner be cool with you just chilling out here without a care in the world? Friendly little thing, aren't ya? Yeah, you're a good little one, I know.
It is funny because the animals do not like their actual owner. Ha 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 ha. Meanwhile, he is over there. And then he gets killed.
Here you were the whole time. Josephine. Oh, how worried I was.
Are you perhaps this little one's owner?
Indeed. I am Pietro. Are you an acquaintance of Mon Ami here?
God, this costume.
I'm more like a subordinate, I guess. I'm Io. Glad to meet you.
Don't just call yourself a subordinate. Jeez.
Okay. You too, Josephine.
Come on now, my baby. Time for us to go home. Don't want to cause too much trouble. Ouch! Josephine, why? Is my love not enough for you?
I think your love might be a bit too much. Hey, Josephine. Head back with Pietro, okay? Your place isn't here. Come on, don't give me that look. I'm always here, so you can see me whenever you want.
I think it would have been nice if the gimmick of the summoner NPC was that their pets liked them.
We're going home. We'll never be parted again. Daddy loves you so much.
Instead of this situation that is happening. I would like to attack Pietro. Meanwhile, time for Beitor Zevninsky or whatever the hell his name was. Finally.
Now then, casting might be over, but we can't just let our talents slip. The whole film rests on their shoulders.
I feel like this guy's voice acting is supposed to evoke a particular celebrity, but I don't know who.
You too, playa. Now, come on, let the cameras roll.
Michael May. Okay, the train hydra's here then. Let's, I guess yep, okay. Okay, a boss fight. Meet Train Ghidorah. Yeah, this boss is actually really cool. But I guess now I know where it came from.
Teleportation complete. Can the two of you hear me?
Holy, the whole city's in ruins. Is this all Beitor's work too? Are these his monsters?
Camera's supposed to. The camera does not know how to handle the mini boss or the mini costumes at all. That's great. I'm pleased by this. Oop, forgot my buttons already. Whoop.
Emergency code due.
Oh. It's over! Hooray! Hitsugi got electrocuted at some point. It's fine. Yeah. The power scaling, like the power creep in this game is unreal. So even though I'm actually not maximum level with this class. Anyway, it's back to the back to this. But yeah, I really feel like that Beitor guy is supposed to be evoking some particular celebrities
Looking into all
that I
the
don't
recent
know
unexplained
that
explosions
well.
happening across the globe, I found that all have been tied to ether use.
Besides, like, Michael Bay, obviously, who I do know a little bit about and feels connected. Feels also kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say anything because I don't know celebrities. Anyways.
Down on Earth, they're all being covered up as mere accidents.
But I don't doubt for a second that every last one was the work of Beitor.
Quite likely. Examining your last encounter, his materialization abilities clearly allow him to create explosives out of ether.
Do you think the game will stoop low enough to have anyone address Beitor as master?
And judging by the pattern of his attacks,
Because I guess I just did.
I'm fairly certain his next target will be just outside the capital.
Hold on, Hitsugi! Where are you going? The only reason he's causing all this mayhem here on Earth is to draw me out. I'm the one responsible for all of this, and I'm not going to let anyone else suffer because of it. It's high time I put a stop to him. Please, don't try and hold me back. I can't let this go on any longer.
Sorry, but no can do. You're going to have to wait just a bit longer. Our work on a media blackout, an evacuation, and securing the safety of those in the next expected area of attack.
What?
I knew you'd rush in there on your own as soon as you heard all the details. You're easy to read, Hitsugi, and I knew our friend here would follow you when you did.
Great. So here I was getting worked up over nothing. I'm such an idiot sometimes.
Hitsugi, stop
Times,
blaming
I would
yourself.
say. You do
Sierra!
into enemy traps like clockwork after all.
That is not helpful.
Guess I can't deny that.
Good grief.
Hitsugi.
Enough with the pity party, Al. I'm fine. Really, I am. We've got a handle on all this.
I mean, I don't know if Beitor's voice acting sounds like anyone in particular, but I feel like it's got the sound of a voice that is trying to sound like someone who I don't know. If that makes any sense at all. This outfit is...
Take care of her for me, okay?
This outfit, I cannot handle.
You're such a sweetheart, Al.
Okay, our blackout and evacuation measures are complete. You two are free to launch whenever you're ready.
Oh hey, another battle right away. Beitor Zelazny once said nothing can compare to the power of live footage. Are you going to kill him already or something? Change the world, the voice of revolution. Alright. I'll do my best. I am just a strange creature at the moment, but I can try.
All right, all right, all right. The seeds have been sown, and we are ready for the main event. The stage is yours now, HITSUGI-BABY. And you too, our little player friend.
God.
Oh, shit! Just switched over to manner mode. Yes? Could you make this quick, please?
I don't know why that was so funny, but it was.
Enough of your nonsense. Do you have any idea how hard it is to cover for you? Especially offenses. Mother is fond of this area and won't stand for any more senseless destruction. How long are you going to keep playing these games?
I was just about to ask my HITSUGI gal the very same thing. If she's going to insist on hiding, well then I guess I'll just need to draw her out, now won't I?
You are
Now,
probably
listen,
correct.
buddy. Mother's
In the
one
Japanese
who asked
version,
me
he
to do this in
absolutely
the
goes,
first
"Oh
place,
shit."
okay?
I'm telling you to watch yourself. We're not here to destroy Earth.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. A-okay. Loud and clear. And over and out. It's people like that who hold true art back. He's too blind to see I'll never get to shoot a spectacle like this ever again. We're in for something real, something exciting, something that'll shake the world to its core.
You're kind of shaking the world to its core with explosions already, maybe
You
a
can
little
see
bit.
that, can't you, mother dear? That's why I'm here.
God.
Okay, places everyone. Get that clapperboard ready. It's time to film a masterpiece.
He absolutely has to say "oh shit" in the Japanese too. Oh good, it's the Tokyo music that I love. Like, I actually really like this music. There aren't that many. Well, there are some machines. They're like tanks and things in this area.
Oh, that's the whole lot of them.
Excellent, HITSUGI-BABY. You too, my player friend. I could not have hoped for a better take.
God.
We can't call it a day yet, though. I've got higher hopes for you folks. I need you to really shine for me. You see what I'm getting at, HITSUGI-BABY? There's a little something the both of you have been lacking this whole time.
Like we care! We're only here to beat the living daylights out of you, you psycho!
Atta girl. Now look I was shooting for. That pure, raw despair. It's a work of art.
My God.
You, though, my player friend, you're gonna need some work. Your people feel the same sorts of emotions we do, yeah? So, give me more. Give me something real, something human.
Did you just make phantasms out of explosions? But I thought you could only materialize bombs!
No, 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 no! You're mighty mistaken there, HITSUGI-BABY. With my powers, I've got sound effects, I've got physical effects, I've got all the effects, lighting, explosives, you name it. People say this stuff is outdated. But here I am, using my powers to bring it all back and show the world the power of film! My powers make things wild, crazier than ever, absolutely sensational. I bring it all together, see? Listen, HITSUGI-BABY, Hageth already filled you in, yeah? Ether, see, it ain't just for communications. It's the stuff that brings dreams to life. That's what I'm here to do.
This isn't some game, okay? Do you even know how many people have been swept up in this? Because of you?
I could ask you the same thing, baby. Weren't you a member of Mother Core yourself? You were told as much when you joined up. We're special, see? We've been blessed with these powers. And these powers grant us our desires. Fulfill them. They change the world. That's our role in all this.
No! That's not true! We aren't supposed to use these powers to make a world where people suffer and die! All I ever wanted to do was protect Al. That's how I got this power of mine. The power to defend, not to destroy! I know. I can't protect everyone. I can't save the whole world. I get it. But that doesn't mean I want to stop trying. I want to make a world where fewer people have to suffer. Where more people can just smile. But you want the exact opposite. You talk about sating your creative urges. But you're not creating anything. It's just blind carnage.
HITSUGI-BABY, come on now. How are you gonna go about doing anything by starting off saying you can't? That's ridiculous! With these powers, we can make dreams a reality. Ether can do anything, baby. Can't you see? You aren't gonna move any hearts with that sort of negativity. And it'll be hard to change the world otherwise. We've got some great tension built here. I think it's time we move on to the grand finale. You never did fix that dumb look on your face. I really should have weeded you out at the casting stage. You can at least give the people what they want with this last scene. Show them some real pain and torment. What? The films are rolling here, people!
Your flick's been canceled. Has been.
Hmm? Oh, hey, it's her brother.
Enga!
With guns!
Yo, HITSUGI! Looking good.
You're Anga Yasaka. Anga, my boy, I'm pretty sure I blew that room of yours sky high, so...
You really thought you'd catch me in a trap that obvious? Might want to rethink your tricks, Mr. Big Shot.
Well, shit. Whatever, no biggie. See, if I wipe you all out here, that'll make for an even better ending anyway.
You're kidding me, right? No one goes for scripts like that these days, pal.
Who are these two? Who are these other two?
If I could have your attention, Allied forces have subdued or eliminated nearly all phantasms in the surrounding area.
Allied forces? Not ARCs?
Arcide, from what I gather, they're an Earth-based force working to stop Mother Core.
Oh, that's convenient.
Aw, shit! My stage! My masterpiece!
Did you really think you could lure us exactly where you wanted and have us show up completely unprepared? I mean, I guess a certain someone here feels fine charging in headlong without the faintest semblance of a plan, but...
Anga, my boy, you're not cut out for this role. I want you off my set ASAP. I don't need you. This film doesn't need you. The world doesn't need you here for this. You're bringing the rest of us down.
Come on now, don't be like that. I can be plenty expressive and dramatic, you know.
Shut up!
I've heard plenty about you already. Sorry to rush things like this on our first meeting, but can I count on you to back me up here? How about you, doofus? Are you about ready to go take a nap while the adults fight?
Who are you calling a doofus? I can fight too!
Fair enough. And how about we roll the credits on this piss-poor excuse for modern cinema?
Episode 4 is so much.
Mother Core, disciple of Jupiter, made towards the Lansing. We're gonna
Shit, we're actually fighting him.
wonderful film together.
Or maybe not.
You flopped it! You got chopped, kid.
What? He summoned a fan? He said holy shit, but he said holy moly in the text box.
Completed. We got us a blockbuster.
Yeah, the brother's back already. I don't know if I would call this voice acting bad. Most of the voice acting in this game is pretty good. This is just deliberately hamming it up to the extreme.
My God! My stage! It's ruined! No. But this is good! Well, nice work, HITSUGI-BABY! And good, my boy! Player, old pal! The best films are always the ones where the actors leave even the director surprised.
Are you really still on about your stupid movie? You don't give up, huh?
What is it? Inga, look!
It's the rest of them.
Here I was, 50% sure this was gonna be something big since all of us are here. But what's with these 70% weak-looking losers?
Her gimmick is percentages.
No way. Is that Pipsqueak?
All right.
HITSUGI? Looks 100% twerp to me.
Oh my god.
Let's finish her off right here, full.
Oh my god. All of them are so much.
Settle down, Oak. It doesn't matter how pathetic she looks. We're only here to make ourselves known. Make ourselves known. That sounds pretty cool, huh? That's a great idea. I'd better jot that one down.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ho ho! Full is quite right indeed, Oak. They are not the ones we are here for, just at this moment.
You just have the same voice as Kasra. Oh, mystery.
5 of them. They just came out of nowhere.
Great. Now everyone's here. These numbers aren't looking good for us.
You certainly seem to have been put in your place, Mator. This wouldn't happen if you followed directions.
This guy's a doctor, you can tell because he's got a doctor machine on his neck. By which I mean a stethoscope thing.
No.
Oh yeah, you're right. The mystery character is obviously Corey. Oh, well, okay.
Mother's rules are to be upheld. Your arbitrary, solitary actions and critical mission failures are not something we can turn a blind eye to.
I think I read that the death scene is a JoJo reference, but I wouldn't know.
Okay, sure thing. If that's what Mother wants, so be it. But Ophiel, buddy, my camera there's still rolling, right? I wouldn't want to miss this. You only get one shot at filming a real death, and I want to capture it all.
And with that, we're finished. Now listen closely, eyesores. All that Mother Core is asking of you is that boy of yours, Al. If you hand him over to us, then all of Earth will be safe.
All of Earth? Only us? What about the Oracle fleet then?
I am but Mother's messenger. Refuse to hand him over, and I will excise every last one of you blemishes from existence. That is all.
Why do they want Al? What is Mother after?
Okay, so we've got Doctor-themed leader man, mysterious person who's obviously Corey, which I admittedly did not realize immediately. We've got person who speaks in percentages, we've got person who writes down ideas, and we've got old man guy. And we've got Dead Michael Bay and Battleship Man. And that's the Mother Core, apparently. All of them are extremely hammy anime
Revenge,
gimmicks.
of course.
What?
Nothing more and nothing less.
Speaking of anime, Jesus Christ. How long did you stand there to wait for the perfect framing with that moon? Well then. In my defense, Old Man has not displayed a character trait yet. So for right now, his character trait is Old Man. I feel like the reason these people were quote-unquote hired is Zira did say earlier that only like a few people can handle ether. But then again, in the cutscene that we just watched, we saw like a bunch of nobody extras suddenly wielding ether weapons, so I don't really know. Either or? They might just exist to be goofy.
The Ark ship really is something, huh? The tech you people have here is worlds beyond ours. But if humans can pull this off here, maybe we'll make it this far on Earth someday too.
I have to wonder about that. Neither Arcs nor the Photoners could have done any of this without Xion. But perhaps if you Earthlings branch out into deep space and happen to come in contact with a being like Xion, you might have a chance.
Sierra, that's never led to anything good. Really.
Perhaps you'd like to give me the full rundown later?
Me? And a babe like you? One-on-one? Count me in. Anytime.
Ah, Jesus. Enga, I had high hopes for you for a second. Enga, I thought maybe you would be okay. And then you say that. Oh well.
All right, sheesh. You never switch out of serious mode for even a second, do you? Anyway, sorry, we had to get to know each other in battle before anything else, but let me introduce myself for real now.
His debut bullshit? No, not really. Like, his first scene wasn't good. His scene, like, in the mission that we just did with Baitor was, like, he was pretty alright. Now he's bad again, maybe.
I'm Enga Yasaka, a member of the Far East Division of Earth Guide, an anti-Mother Corps organization, and...
You presented that like a
brother
police
of this
badge.
goody two-shoes here. Nice to finally meet you all.
You're Hitsugi's brother?
Yep, sure am.
Does that make you my brother too?
Sure, whatever floats your boat.
I have a brother!
Guess I do too.
Okay, that's cute at least.
What's the matter? Jealous?
Not anymore.
No. Why should I be? Now can you just start explaining yourself, please?
Explain what? My people are enemies of Mother and friends of Arcs. What else do you need to know?
Basically everything. Like, why are you Mother's enemy? What the heck even is Earth Guide?
The whole ether infrastructure is under the management and control of Mother Corps. Our whole society is built on top of that infrastructure, and they control all of it. Even governments bow down to them. If they want to stomp out the Earth, they'd have no trouble doing it. They just have to tamper with nukes around the globe. No questions asked.
Oh no, we're getting into nukes now?
Earth Guide is an organization that doesn't take too kindly to being under their thumb. In order to figure out what Mother Corps is up to, and find a way to resist, the organization was quick to make contact with Arcs. That, unfortunately, is also what painted a big target on our backs.
So, was that whole explosion incident back at your room because they found out you were a member? Oh, it's your own fault then.
You wish it was, brat. If you hadn't ditched the Corps, they never would have scrubbed your records and found dirt on me. This is on you. Not that I've ever really tried to hide it. Plus, it ended up drawing them out. So I'd say it was a win for us in the end. Having that Mother Corps lot come out in the open like this should get Earth Guide moving. We're planning to fight right alongside Arcs in this. I bet my people will want to set up a meeting with the ARC side soon enough. And I'm the designated contact point between the two sides. So, well, I'm gonna be hanging around here a lot more for a while.
What?
I'll take that as a sign you're happy.
How messed up are your eyes to think this is me being happy?
Anime siblings.
Don't be shy now. We're family. Come on, how about you give your older brother a nice big hug?
Ew! No, I'm going for a walk. Come on, Al.
Huh? Hitsugi, wait!
Never could take a joke, that one. But now that she's gone, let me just say thanks again for saving Hitsugi, I mean. She really means a lot to me.
Why don't you express that genuinely
She might be a real
with her?
reckless idiot, but she's still my kid sister. And she owes you her life. I won't forget that.
Oh boy, lots more sub-stories. With all of the people. But, you know, that might be enough for today. I said it was going to be a shorter one, and we got to a major point in the story. What do you have to say, Enga?
So what's up?
I've heard about this place, but to actually come here is amazing. Okay.
See you around.
Can I turn on the Japanese audio? I guess I could switch to it, but what would you want? Oh, you mean you're asking if you could? Yeah, you can change to the Japanese audio. Hey, mission pass. Yeehaw. But there is an option for that. Probably in audio? No? Game settings? I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Regardless. Yeah, I think that'll be enough for today. I hope to stream more of this in the future, but we got to, like I was saying, a decently major point in the story. If I can do more streams, like even if I do shorter streams, if I can do more streams, that would be good too. Like more shorter ones? I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah. Oh no, my scarf color didn't change back. Anyway. Next time, more of this. Won't that be fun? And until then, thank you all for watching. You're all wonderful. Good night, or good morning, or good evening. Bye.